This breaking news now from the U.S. In Baltimore, the fire department has declared a mass casualty incident after a major bridge collapsed into the water. That's after being struck by a cargo ship. This here is the moment that it happened around 1:30 a.m. local time, so that's just a few hours ago now. Police say that they're trying to rescue up to 20 people from the water. The ship caught fire on impact. Then the ship sank. What we know is that this was a Singapore-flagged vessel headed to the Sri Lankan capital. And here's the live shot, the live pictures showing the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. Let's bring in our correspondent Mike Hanna on the phone from nearby Washington, D.C. Mike, can you in a second, you'll run us through the timeline of events around 1:30 local, but for now, tell us what's happening now and where the search and rescue efforts stand.
Well, the Coast Guard are now on the scene. They have been for the last hour or so trying to see whether there are people in the water. Initial reports said that at least 7 people were on the bridge when it went down, when the ship struck it, as well as possibly a trailer was on the bridge as well. Now, those efforts to find out exactly the extent of the casualties are ongoing, although the Baltimore Fire Department is describing this as a mass casualty situation. Now, just to go back to the timeline of what happened here, the ship, which is a container ship carrying a Singapore flag called the Dali, it was on its way to Sri Lanka, to Colombo, had just left the port in Baltimore when it appeared to strike one of the pylons on the bridge. The entire bridge, some 3 kilometers long, collapsed into the river, the Patapsco River, which is the major river flowing into or forming the tidal basin that is Baltimore Harbor, leading into Chesapeake Bay and the wider ocean. The situation at the moment, there are Coast Guard, as I said, on the scene. The fire department is there. But the exact extent of the situation, not clear at this particular point. I must point out as well that the bridge is part of the 695 highway, which is a major highway going through the U.S.'s northeastern seaboard. This is a major arterial road, so obviously the problems with traffic and that are absolutely immense now, given the fact that this bridge has gone down. This is one of the 3 key crossing bridges over the river that forms Baltimore Harbor. So this, apart from the immediate tragedy and of the situation and the possibility of people in the water, has created a major issue in terms of traffic flowing from Washington, D.C., along the seaboard to New York.
Mike, this is a very rapidly developing situation. There are a few things I want to check with you. Do you know if anyone has been pulled out of the water so far?
At this stage, the fire department has not given any details about whether people have been found in the water. What we do know is that there are people in the water. The exact number is not known at this particular point. Obviously, they were in cars when that bridge went down. Initial reports, once again, saying there were at least 7 civilian cars on the bridge when the container ship struck it. But the exact extent of the casualties, not clear at this particular point. That's why the Coast Guard are on the scene, dredging or looking in the river near the vicinity of the bridge now. And also to note, the temperatures in that river at present, according to the weather office, is some 9 degrees Celsius. This is way below the levels of which hypothermia can occur. So this is a critical situation. The exact extent of the human casualty, not clear at this particular point. The ship, though, we are told by the Baltimore Fire Department, everybody on the ship is okay, including the 2 pilots who were on board the container ship when it struck the vessel. Now, there are pilots there. Any traffic moving out of Baltimore Harbor will have pilots on board who will take the ships out into the open sea. But we are told by the fire department that there are no casualties on the ship itself.
Oh, that's remarkable, because based on the pictures, I would have assumed that there likely would have been casualties on that ship, but that's your reporting, that everybody on the ship is now known and confirmed to be okay. Mike, Hanna, as soon as you find out more information on what happened, whether there are still people in the water, people being pulled out of the water, we will want to talk to you again. Thank you very much, Mike.